about.
Hmm.
I was, I don't know if I don't know if it's based off anything or anything like that. I don't know anything about that. It might be an original story, but yeah, we both watched it. I'll let you go first. What do you think about Blue Eyed Samurai?
I like historical fiction, so I liked it a lot. I wouldn't say I don't know if that story about this character is like based on a true story, but I'm sure probably like there's someone out there in Japan at that time that was probably white that people hated, like half white, half Japanese, because like I think it said it was started like around the 16 they banned the Western world from Japan like around like 1630. That's the actual thing that happened. I always hear that in anime all the time about in the Western world the shogunate didn't want no one basically in the Western world. So that's like legit. That's like real history, and they did call like white people white devils. You know what I mean? Because we had like guns and technology, and we were trying to like modernize their world.
Who's we?
So, huh?
Who's we?
Who's we?
Well, the West, the word of the West,
So you're saying
We're
white?
saying white.
You're saying like
huh?
you said like white, so like we're not white, so
I know, I know we're not white. I'm saying as if we're the West, white West. Never mind. But I get what you're saying. But so
yeah, I know exactly.
that was like
That's
that was like
historically accurate. Yeah, no.
yeah, that's a historical thing that would really happen in Japan. I mean, I'm not a history teacher, but if so many shows are talking about it, you know what I mean? It's kind of like okay, it must be true to a certain extent. Um, I think it's called the Edo period, so we're in the Edo period because they're talking about shogunates. I think it's interesting because I the only show that I've really watched that was would you consider this anime? Because it's 3D, but it's anime, right? Or would you just say it's 3D? Would you consider this an anime show?
In my opinion, no. But like,
No,
I think like
because I
there's
don't.
things that are inspired by anime, and I think like even like I feel like even if it was like made in Japan, it doesn't really feel like an anime.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I kind of question it. Like, it doesn't really feel like an anime show, but I did love it. It was like I love the animation of it. I love the way how the characters look and the way how the world looked too. It was interesting. I really love the show. I think it's kind of cool how they didn't have to kind of make it like super crazy and have characters that have like crazy ass powers to make the story actually interesting. You know what I mean? And it was an animated film. It was an animated show. So I think it was a very good show. Um, do you want me to talk about like the pros or
I mean, yeah, just like I guess just things that stood out to you that you liked, or like yeah, I mean, like you mentioned CGI, is like I guess the top characters, plot, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming niggas watched it, so yeah, you just like just freely talk about it type shit.
okay? I think my favorite part of the show would have to be the just the story concept. Like it was kind of cool hearing about this Mizu, the main character, is the thing is though is I like the story concept. She's hunting down four men that can possibly be her father that basically raped her mom, and it just felt like one of those old school fucking like karate movies. You know what I mean? Like Jet Li Fearless or something. Like and they're just on a path just to fuck up some niggas. You know what I mean? On a revenge path. Kind of like there was one scene that I liked the most. You know, remember that Bruce Lee movie that Bruce Lee never actually finished? It was I think it was called like Game of Death, and he was like going up levels to fight people.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It kind of felt like that mixed with like Kill Bill a little bit, and I like that because the I like the fight scenes, the music. There was like a scene where she was fighting when she was going to Fowler, the you know the main protagonist, white guy, castle, and they had like a Beach Boy slash like Japanese like type beat music playing while she was fighting. I thought that was really ill. The fight choreography was good. The characters, I felt like everyone was like different in their own way. They didn't feel like bland. They didn't feel like they were just like okay. They all can be like the same character. They all sound the same. You know what I mean? So that's what I really liked about the show. I do like Fowler a lot because that dude was just a goon, bro. He was a goon and he was clever. Like that and like that whole gun situation, how he got away with the gun situation, I was like, that nigga's really a goon. Like he was hiding guns inside like basically regular furniture and shit like that. Like you would never I never seen some shit like that, bro. I never seen I was like, okay, like how did he know that someone was gonna turn on him? Given the fact that he was by himself and he's a white man, I can understand like everyone hates white men in Japan at that time period. I can see why he has to be clever, but like you would never think like you can make guns into furniture, bro.
Yeah, I mean, they had to import it somehow, so I guess it just makes sense that, it kind of reminded me of how they would, like, put drugs in, like, teddy bears and shit, just to kind of scare
Hmm.
people around. So,
Yeah, but that it was kind of different because he was actually like building the gun like out of front. He was breaking shit off and then he's just putting it together. I was like, what the hell? Like, that's pretty hard to do. You know what I mean? That's pretty hard to organize. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
And and then it kind of a lot of people like there was like a lot of people that like that was evil. Like niggas are evil, bro. Like that's one thing that the show kind of gave off. Like it was like back in the day, niggas was evil, bro. Like they did not give a fuck. Like and even the good people were willing to do more gruesome things. Like Mizu was willing to hurt. Like remember in the first episode, she just cut some nigga's finger off. Like nothing. Not given the fact that the dude was kind of like an asshole, but like she went mad far, bro. Like and she killed the fucking prostitute. Remember that episode?
oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah, I found that whole situation kind of strange, but yeah, I mean, I get what you mean. It's kind of just playing the sides of, like, good and evil, like, both people, like, everybody has both, like, they could be good and evil, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what would you be willing to do to get your vengeance type shit, you know? Yeah. For me, I watched the whole show. I don't know. I just thought it was alright. I think cause I was cause I don't know why I felt like this. Like I was like, oh, I just thought it was alright. So I started watching other people's reviews and shit. And somebody was like, it's pretty much like Mulan and Kill Bill. And I was like,
Yeah, I
that's
had
a
that
great
vibe. Yeah.
that's a great comparison. But what on the flip side of that is like, oh, I like Mulan better.
Mm.
I like Kill Bill better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
it was like just watching the show. One, just to like even bringing it back to the first episode. I was getting really tight that nobody was like addressing her as a girl. Like I was like, clearly this is a girl. Like I didn't not 1 second was like, oh that's a nigga. Like not 1 second. Like not even a blink. Like what was pissing me off was the voice, and I was just like, what instantly went first thing to my head was like, okay, why do they keep on having females voice niggas? Like that's the first thing that went to my head. Like if he's supposed to be a guy, why does he sound like a girl? Like why? So and then like within a couple of minutes, I was like, oh, because clearly it's a girl. Like you know what I mean? But
Hmm.
I don't know if you thought that was like a big twist. Like did you see that coming?
Nah, nah. Honestly, it wasn't a big twist. It was actually like a relief when I found out she was actually a girl, because they started to make me feel like I was crazy. I was like, this is a shorty, right? This is clearly a shorty. Like it's obvious that it's shorty. And then when they kept on calling him, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And then when they finally revealed that it was a shorty, I was like, okay, I'm not crazy. You know what I mean? I was like,
like
it was,
even to when she was a little girl and she was talking to the blind dude and she's like, I have one more thing I have to tell you. I was like, you're a girl, right? Like that's what you want to say, like you know what I mean? Like, and the nigga's like, no, you're a dumb little kid, little boy, and then you'll be a dumb man. And it's like, it's a girl, bro. Like what? Like I get it, he's blind, whatever. But like just everybody throughout the show, like, and I don't know if this comes off racist or something, but it's just like, why can girls just look like niggas in Asian Japanese culture with ease? Like they could just tie their hair up, wrap their titties, they're niggas. Like it's just something that I've seen a lot in that specific culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would say
it could happen the other way around.
I would say though, like in Asian cultures, like Koreans, Japanese, Chinese, like there be some like guys that be looking kind of girlish. You know what I mean? There be some guys like they have like really feminine faces. You know what I mean?
Faces. I don't know. I don't know. I just. I don't know.
Me, I would recognize. I feel like I would recognize, but that's what everyone thinks. You know what I mean? But it was it was one of those things in this show that like if they were gonna make her play out to be like a little bit of like a guy, they should have made her have like probably a more manlier face. But but the thing is, they want that love story and they want that to the main character to look, like good, to the eye, so that it could be like kind of more believable that the guy would start liking the girl. That's why I think why they kept her having a more feminine face than usual.
But there wasn't like even when you say a love story, I didn't really see. Are you talking about like because Tengen was one of the princess? Like who was the love story between these two? Other than like the old, you know how she had a husband back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you talking about that? Like,
I would say there's love tension, so they're building up for a love story. That's what the vibes that I got out of it.
Mizu and Tengen?
Yeah, with Taigen and her, yeah. So the reason why I say that is because they're building the story in a way where there's gonna be separation from the two lovers, because clearly, what was her name? Akemi, the girl Taigen's girlfriend. Clearly, once ever since Seki, that old guy that's kind of like her actual father died, she's on the path to becoming like the queen, and she's gonna try to change the world that way. Where like Taigen was supposed to wanted to be extravagant wanted to go extravagant to just wanted to be a regular person by the end of the show, and we see that when Mizu and him were kind of wrestling around that like that nigga was feeling that. Like he was like, yo, what the hell's going on? It's like, yo, and he feels weird about it because like, yo, isn't that a dude? Why am I feeling this type of way of dude? It wasn't said, but it was implied. You could kind of see that Mizu kind of likes him now. You know what I mean?
No,
I think
I could definitely see. Honestly, I see it more on Mizu's side than Tengen's side, just because what Mizu said at the end, like yeah, like he's not a good guy, but he's a possibility to be a great guy, whatever. But with Tengen, it was just like, well, his whole arc of this whole show was for him to get his girl. So for them to just flip that, for him to just fall in love with this random Kishi girl, like
it's not fully it's not fully there though. It's not because it looked like there was sexual tension when they were wrestling, bro. And then
I'm not saying there wasn't. I'm just saying it just feels like it would just cheapen everything that kind of happened. Like he went through so much just for like just to eventually like he wanted to get with his girl. Like I feel like that was kind of like the goal. But
yeah,
I mean I get what you're saying. Like it could definitely like I can see what you're saying. Like she becomes a queen and shit just kind of like there's like a divide between them. But I just don't know how long. I know they did announce a season 2, but I don't know. If it just happens instantly season 2, like it feels kind of like I don't know, a little jarring to me.
Yeah.
And also, I got a little creepy love vibe from the grandpa and Akemi too. Like it just felt like just the way he was talking. It was just like I don't know. It just felt really weird between them specifically. But yeah.
And then I feel like Mizu's like resolve kind of died. Like, well, for me, like it didn't make sense to me when this is one of the things that I had a problem with. Like, okay, you want to take revenge on the four white people that raped your mom. Was it because they raped your mom or because they cursed you with being half white? That's what I'm trying to understand because the mom ended up kind of betraying her. So the purpose of fighting for your mom, the woman that left you behind, and basically kind of like you don't know might have betrayed you. I think honestly, I think the mom betrayed her. Between you know how she was like trying to debate whether there was the husband or the mom, but she just walked away, and then I think the
When
mom
was the
did.
last time, like, how, from today, when was the last time you watched the show?
I would say
Was it
it's
like
been about
yesterday?
like a week, like a
Yeah.
week.
So that wasn't her mom. That was just somebody they paid to watch over her. Because at the end, when her and when Mizu and the white nigga were fighting, he was like, "Don't you want to know what happens to your mom?" And he was like, "I know what happened to my mom." He's like, "No, that was just some maid that they paid off."
Oh yeah, I know that part. I know that part. Yeah, I'm viewing it her as the mom because it's like that's what she called her. You know, that's all
But
she knew.
I know, but I'm saying like, but now she's kind of interested. But he said, um, "Don't you want to know how your mom died?" So I'm assuming she's already dead. Like, and since that wasn't her, like
Hmm.
it kind of that mom plot line is kind of up in the air. Other than her just trying to find out who killed it, like who killed her.
Yeah.
And I think it's more on the fact that they made her half white. That it's definitely more on that, just because of how she was treated and how people looked at her than like her mom getting raped. I don't really. I don't think she really cares about the raping part. I just think
Yeah.
she cares more the fact that she's like a she's like people think she's like an animal. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's more about that.
Okay.
But yeah. Uh, one. I think my I think so. It comes to there's like it's 50-50 for me. One, I I just don't like CGI. I just don't like it at all. Like,
Same
honestly, in
mind.
my opinion, I really I just think this. So right, I gotta look at it as a whole, right? Vengeance plot. That's something I've seen before. It's not like something that's too crazy, right?
Yeah.
Something in this era is something I've also seen before, which is not too crazy. The fact that it's like a low key woman is also something I've seen before. So there's a lot of things in this series that I've seen before, right? That are super familiar. So, and also when it comes to on top of that, the animation with the what you say, there's a lot of great backgrounds, but I think it's specifically when it comes to like the character animations and stuff. And I think CGI is very limited to how certain like just fight scenes in general can be. Like, yeah, like you said, they didn't have to give them powers or whatever, but I do think they could have been just more creative or more just visually pleasing that CGI can't pull off. You know what I mean? So, like, I did have like the fight scenes were definitely good. Like, were
Hmm.
definitely great. I seen I was watching some behind the scenes stuff. They watched like they took a lot of like influence from actual like people like samurais and shit. So like a lot of the fighting movements are very like one to one, which is obviously fire because you know like I said, took a lot of inspiration and like give the shit credit obviously. I just truly think CGI is just not for me. I think after especially just this year in general of all the great animated shit that's came out. When it comes, I could like Spider Verse, TMNT. I guess obviously Invincible. That's one of my favorite shows. Obviously, I gotta say that. There's other like great animated shows where it's just like I could see obviously they wanted to go definitely very grounded and very realistic, but at the same time it's just like so I just wonder like what's the point if you're not gonna go bombastic like if the plot is if the plot is generic, right? The plot is generic I would say, in my opinion, the characters are pretty generic. Like, I'm like, it's not like there's no like outstanding. Like, yo, this character's my favorite. Like, he really like, or like she really like. It was just like, okay, princess that doesn't want to be, that doesn't want to get married.
I mean,
Samurai that,
I feel like the main character was like probably the most interesting one out of all of them.
of course. But even then, I've seen characters like that done better. Like the quiet, like Afro samurai type nigga. Like I've even that. Like I've so it's just everything. It's not just like me just watching the show and like not enjoying it. It's all of those things that just it's just like it's just average to me. Like I'm not, in my opinion, I'm just not invested in like in anything that's truly going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yes, of course, what Mizu's doing, like, it looks cool when she's killing niggas and shit, but when she gets to like, I'm just talking about like the plot wise, it's just like I'm not like, yo, I hope she kills these niggas. Like, it's just like, no, I'm just watching the show. You know what I mean? When it and one last thing overall, I just want to say, like, when it comes to like, what do you think makes this series great? Is it the characters? Is it the plot? Is it the CGI? Is it like what makes this like a great show? I would like to know from you. Even if you don't, if you think it's a great show, I'm not saying you do. I'm just saying like what makes this above average.
Above average, okay. I do definitely think the show is above average because it's a show. One, the main character, right? It's an interesting character because of this one defect. Well, that they consider a defect, her being half white. She faces like several things that can connect with a lot of people and kind of relate to a lot of people. One, she's a girl, so there's the dangers of her being, exposed of being a woman, and basically she has to still deal. She doesn't really have to deal with the, I would say, I guess the issues of being a girl because she considers herself, behaves like a man, but at the same time she still does have responsibilities of what a woman would have, like in terms of like
Yeah, there's
like
still
when
that
she had,
underlayer of her being.
yeah, being a female, and so that can connect with a lot of like a big wide audience. And but yet she's a female, but she has the status of a male, so like she takes on the roles of men. She's basically considered a man in that world, in that time frame. So she has to deal with man problems, which I kind of find that's interesting. And she also has to deal with racism. So she has like all these different layers that people can kind of connect with, and that's why I think a variety of people kind of like the show because there's so many different people that can kind of connect with her. Even like a guy can kind of connect with what she's going through because she's going through a guy's problems because everyone thinks he's a guy. You know what I mean? And then also it's like a underdog story. I mean, everyone likes a good underdog story. I'm sure that I know what you're thinking. Like, there's plenty of good, well done underdog stories, but like,
It's funny because watching the show, I knew he was gonna bring that up. Cause like that's some, even me, cause like that's things that like I enjoy that specific thing, but then even there, I feel like there's even like faults in that when it comes to specifically this show. Like sometimes she's overpowered, and sometimes she's just like she's not. Like it's kind of like up in the air when it comes to being the underdog, But
yeah. And then so to us, I feel like well, I can't speak for you, but for me, I feel like we look at it as like we've seen better is because we've been around for like what, like 27 years. So we've seen a bunch of stories. But I feel like to that reason why it's doing so well is because to the young generation, this is kind of like they're like, oh shit, this is their Berserk or something. This is like their, you know what I mean? It's not my Berserk.
Nah, but just I feel like that was the first thing you said, yo. If niggas watch this, niggas are gonna cook you for that.
But you gotta understand, like their
It's not
Jordans,
crazy though.
their Jordans are gonna be different. Their Jordans, you know what I mean? Just like how our Jordans are gonna be our Jordans. That's what I'm trying to basically say.
I just feel like it was like I haven't even seen. I just know a little bit about that show, and there's layers in that show. Like I've never even fully watched the show, and I know
Yeah.
how.
Nah, there's layers. But like, Like, well, I don't know what else to compare it to. You know what I mean? So, cause like it's like a historical kind of like fighting show. So it's like, what could I really compare it to? I can't really think of anything else. Probably Vagabond, but I don't want to
Afro.
disrespect Vagabond either. So there's
I would say
plenty.
that's why I said Afro. I was like, even though Afro does fight like supernatural niggas, I was just
Yeah,
giving off that like, you know, that lone warrior, who's very
yeah.
quiet, has a punky sidekick, goes with
Hmm.
him, but yeah. All right, but I see your points. I just um in the world we live in now, regardless of how long we've been living, this year alone has given us a lot when it comes to
Hmm.
content, and it just feels like this specific show was. It's not something I'm like. I like. Would you tell a random to watch this show? Like, yo, this is a show you should definitely hop on and watch. Like, I just feel like there's a better alternative. There's always gonna be a
Yeah,
better alternative for this.
that's true.
And I don't want
That's
to
true.
hate on it. I'm just saying, speaking like,
Definitely. I wouldn't say it's a show I would probably recommend. It depend. I have to probably kind of know the person pretty well to recommend it. But I am glad that you suggested to watch the show because I do think it's a good show.
yeah, definitely. Like, it was definitely something to
Wait.
watch. Um,
Mhm.
I just feel like maybe it's because when I was just watching it, like I'm not gonna lie, I was dozing off a little bit, like certain parts. But like when me watching other people like review it, the second they mentioned like Mulan, Kill Bill, and it's just like, yeah, like it's those two, right? But those two are way better. Like I just rather watch those two if any, like you know what I mean? And it's and I'm trying to think of like if this show wasn't CGI, would I be like, oh, it's still like yeah, it's like something. But even then, it's kind of like I would just be praising for the animation versus like the plot and the characters and story. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So the fact that it's CGI on top of that, just like, and then I'm watching the show, I don't really like. Just random side note. The nigga with the stubby hands is pissing me off. There's no way. There's no
Ringo.
way. There's no way he could do all the things he was doing with his fucking stubby ass hands. He was killing niggas. He was like, making wonton soup and shit. I was like, bro, stop. That's just a little thing that was just pissing me off throughout the whole show.
I was trying to figure out how he was using two chopsticks with that little thing. It didn't make any sense to me.
It
How
was
you?
just so, it was a lot of things. I was just like, yo, I know that doesn't. It's not like a big thing to pick about, but every time I seen him, I was just like, he's just doing some shit that didn't make any sense. Like
And he was
bro.
and he was disrespecting Mizu because like he was sneaking up on her like every 2 seconds. Like, okay, like you supposed to be like some samurai that can bang for real, and this dude can sneak up on you and kill you at any second.
Sneaking up on her and shit. Yeah.
But ex- when you were speaking about her being overpowered in some cases, that's true. There was like a couple of scenes I was like, there's no way she can survive that. You know what I mean? Like
Specifically,
that
we could talk about the when she was fighting the Fang niggas. Like
yeah.
she was falling down a fucking mountain and banging on them. Like,
That wasn't even the worst one, man. The worst one was when she stormed the castle and then she was all beat up and she had the strength to carry a nigga and climb up with a sword. Nah, there was no
I'm
way.
just like, the reason why I brought that up is because it continues on from that point, like even a little bit prior, right? Like even the first episode when she goes in and she beats everybody's ass and that's a student, right? She's like, oh, she's clearly unstoppable. And then the other nigga just pulls up and beats her ass, and this one random nigga just pulls up and beats her ass, and you're like, what? And then she takes off the weights, and then she fucks him up easily. So it's like
Yeah.
it's very like flip floppy when it comes to just her like in general. But yeah, I think my favorite fight scene was when after she snapped the girl's neck, and then the whole army pulled up, and I think that was probably my favorite fight scene. And then when she was putting the weights on the sword and made it like a long blade, that was fun.
Yeah.
Like,
I was trying to understand how that worked. I was like, how is he
that
the
was
staff?
fun.
that I ain't gonna lie, that was my favorite fight scene when she was like inside the whorehouse, the
She
brothel.
was just on the floor like spinning it, slicing it. It's like I was like, oh, that's fine. I gotta say that's
There
fine.
were times I was like, yo, these dudes can kill her, bro, easily. Because like when she was under the door, that scene I was like, okay, she's dead. She's
I
dead.
feel like a lot of people were just playing with her. Like, you know what I mean? They weren't really trying to like kill her. Like, you know what I mean?
They easily stabbed right through the door and killed her right there and then. It was that was what I was like, okay, they're giving her like plot armor for real, for real. But another scene, but I still can't believe that she got beat up so badly, right? And then she was able to stab the sword that didn't snap with all that weight on it and climb up to Fowler's fucking office. I don't get how she was able to do that and fight him. You know what I mean? I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get how Fowler was able to bang on her like she was nothing, and all he was doing was some basic shit.
Like, what? They try to build him up over the series, and like, yo, he's nice. Like, yo, somebody sliced this leaf. Like, nobody sliced it like this. Like a regular nigga can't slice a leaf. Like, bro, and like, you're telling me this white nigga that comes to Japan is one of the nicest samurais? Like, stop, bro, stop, bro. Like, it was the, like, I could believe he's very smart and manipulative, but when it comes to him being able to fight, that's a little up in the air to me.
They were kind of hyping him up that he mastered a lot of things while he was just hiding. Like, oh, he knows how to write, he knows how to do this, he knows how to fight, he knows how to fight, he knows the martial arts. But the whole time he was just sniping niggas. The whole time he's like all that shit and bow.
And yeah, I seen like, obviously they were leading up to you, like the people watching to think that he was her father, but then obviously he say, oh, the other two, like, you know, you look like her, you look like him, or like you have his
Mhm.
eyes. So like now she's heading to London or whatever. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, that's just kind of how I feel. It's just CGI on top of a generic plot. You could say at least the plot is pretty generic, right? Like that's pretty
Yeah,
good.
it's good, yeah. I do like the
CGI.
characters, bro. I do like that every character's kind of fighting like their own battle, kind of like I would say Akemi's trying to find a way to take control of her life and try to find her own strength as a girl. Mizu, Mizu is trying to find her purpose and basically essentially trying to like take out the people that she claims ruined her whole life, even though like her life would even exist if they even. So she's basically saying she never wanted to exist, it basically, and you're mad.
Yeah.
Which is kind of so she's battling with her mortality and honor and all that, and then Tai Taigen, I think he came to terms with basically what he was battling. He wanted to be great, but now he just wants to be regular. You know what I mean? He just wants to chill. But that can change. That can change in a split second, obviously. But
Have you ever seen that RDC skit? They talk about like niggas in anime like become best friends after 1 minute, like and then they're like he's just like, hey, what's up? And then like somebody comes through and styles him. He's like, tell my kids I love them. It's like, nigga, we just met. That's kind of how I felt about Tengen. Bro, you're telling me, right? Somebody beats your ass, right? You chase them, like, yo, all right, now I gotta kill them, right? And then you come upon their dead body. You see, well, they're almost dying body. You save them, and then you help them find information about the people that they're looking for, and then it just felt like that whole relationship between them was so forced and fake, in my opinion. Like, within the first episode, they want to kill each other. Until the second episode, they're kind of working together, and I just
I
didn't
see what
believe
you're saying, but I've seen that. I've seen that in shows, and it's one of those things like the way of the samurai. Like they have honor. So for him to fight her while she was weak,
that
not
is
her full.
fair. That's fair. The way they're honorable, but that he deaded it eventually. He didn't
He
wanted to fight her eventually.
so the thing is, he wanted to fight her at her best, and throughout the after that whole like Fang fight, she was never at her best, really. You know what I mean? She was always hurt somewhat. He's like, I'm not gonna fight you when you're not at your full potential, so I can prove that, like, because Japanese people are really like, and samurai people, like, they're really prideful.
So why
So
would you go from that to helping her? Where's
because
where's the like?
he wants his duel, and the only way he's gonna have this duel is that if he keeps this person alive. Like, okay, I need this person alive, but this person's doing something, and clearly I'm not that person's main priority. So the only way I can get my on, because in their world, bro, they'd rather die than be like a failure in life and then not have feel like they're where they're supposed to be. Like, you know what I mean? Like they'll kill themselves. Seppuku niggas. Like that's how
I
they are,
understand
bro.
that, but my point is, if this was real, right? What
That's real.
is no? I'm saying like if these are real people, real characters. What is stopping? Like, let's say you help her out.
Hmm.
She's supposed to like come back to the village so we can bang 1-on-1 in front of
Yeah,
everybody. No,
yeah.
like no, that's
That's how
not.
they, bro.
She's not a samurai. That's my point. You're putting all this trust into somebody. That's she's not a noble like. Yo, she wrote a letter like, oh, I promise I'll do it. That doesn't mean she's gonna do it. It's like
I know.
You're helping her get to the fact that he knew that she was going to that tower. She wasn't gonna. She's not supposed to win that. She's not supposed to. She's not supposed to. You know, she wasn't. So you're helping her to her death. He said that in like the third episode. He was like, "Yeah, so at least we could die and like honorably or whatever." But it's like you're helping. You're never gonna get that 1v1 in front of everybody to get your honor back.
But that's the thing with that culture, bro. They're so prideful, bro. They're like, yo, I'd rather die well than lose my honor. So to him, he'll rather die, bro. He'll rather die helping her out so he can have the chance to get his honor back than just not than just not have the opportunity to have his honor again. That's the samurai way, bro. That's how samurais are, bro. They not everybody like not every, some people,
I
of
know that's
course.
the samurai way. I know that's how samurais are. I'm just there. There's like a line. Maybe it's because the show is only 8 episodes, but there's
Hmm.
like there's a missing line there, where it's like you're helping your. Of course, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I see that,
Yeah.
but there's just like a thing. There's just a missing episode there where we find out like something more character development building there. Like yeah, they saved each other's lives to a degree, but like for
Yeah.
them to be that close to show, I was missing something. Like I don't know.
I mean, not to compare this to like military guys, but like when you're in combat, bro, you get like that bond. I'm not saying talking out of experience, but from what people have said, like in war and stuff like that, you build trust in people after fighting, going through some crazy shit with people. You build crazy amount of trust in someone, and like, more faster than like the regular person. You know what I mean? And I think it's one of those situations like, okay, this shorty just saved me when she didn't need to save me. Oh, this nigga is actually kind of helping me out, and they're fighting together, and they survived some crazy ass shit together. So I think through that, then they're learning like, damn, I don't want to kill the person that's helping me, and it kind of doesn't make it kind of sucks because it's going against like the dual situation. But that's when he wanted to be great, and then by the end of the show, he was talking about, okay, I don't care about being some great warrior anymore. I don't care about being a samurai anymore. I just wanna run off with you. You know what I mean? To be happy with you. He just came to that conclusion after going through all that experience. That's why I think the reason why I agree that I do think it's weird that they're close, but I can actually see a samurai doing some shit like that because honor to them means everything. You know what I mean? They don't care about anything else.
Glamour of wearing diamonds.
Diamonds bring
Status.
elegance and prestige. Their brilliance makes
Brilliance.